Hello, E.J. Martin's licensed marriage family therapist, couples therapist. Let's continue our conversation from last week, talking about ADHD partner triggers you, then you get into a victim role. And there are two parts we put on the side. Remember, this is the left side we called outer critic, and then the right side, inner critic. So let's go to the outer critic first. If you are quick to anger and you tend to externalize your aggression towards other people, when you are suffering, you see what other people doing to you. It's the start of the victim role. And a lot of times people put one hand on their waist, the other hand out, and pointing finger at other people, say, you did that to me. They did this. You never, you always. Do you notice when you assume this position? When I was a teenager, there's a Taiwanese show I really like to watch. And there's a woman in there always assume this position. And other people jokingly call her the teapot. You did this. So tilting and pouring tea. So when you are doing that, do you notice what happens to your body? So you're actually channeling all your energy externally, maybe through your eyes with a very stern, very focused gaze, maybe through your mouth when you're holding tension in your mouth, when you're criticizing other people, your voice may get stronger and firmer, and there's a lot of tension in your neck. And also externalizing with your hands. When you're pointing hands, the direction is from your inner, your center, out externally towards the target of your criticism, and that is the outer critic. So what happens when you're in this position? You notice you're shifting away from your center. You're spending your energy externally, and you're not aligned with your center, with your ground, with yourself. And remember the example we gave last week. So sometimes when you criticize your partner with ADHD, there are symptoms and how's that impacting you? And then you get a response right away internally. It could be a voice saying, how can you criticize your partner like that? Your partner has ADHD. How can I be so mean to judge them and criticize them and blame them for all the problems in our relationship, right? And what is that voice? That is your aggression going externally and stop being boomerang back at yourself. So what happens when, imagine there's like a ball of energy aggression coming at you? So what happens is generally you collapse in your chest, and if you take it on, receive it, you collapse, and then there's a lot of tension in your neck and shoulder to hold the position like this. And it's really hard to breathe from this position, and I can feel there's not enough room in my chest, in my center. This is very oppressive. It's contracting, and I feel some tension around my head. If this voice keeps bombarding criticism towards me, I feel tension around temple and my eyes, because it really stops me from crying when there's tension, the eye muscle. So all of this, I'm starting to invite you to explore this with me, and this position is very uncomfortable. Shallow breathing, heart rate is going up, and I start to feel like I'm collapsing and being attacked. So either this one or this one. None of them is stay in your center, because from this collapsed place, from inner critic, I can't even breathe properly. How can I have access to my energy and myself? I can't think straight. And from this place, what you're seeing is only in front of you. You don't have a broader vision as well. So how to transform from this form, this outer critic and inner critic, coming back to a centered self? I invite you to play with me. So I can think about three options. One is to relax those areas of muscle you have that's tense, have tension. For example, the eyes. If your eyes were staring out and looking really fierce and focused and strained to look at the target of your criticism, can you try to relax them? Can you let your eyeballs sit and relax in the sockets of your eyes? And do you notice any shift in your vision? I can see more and better when I do that. And I don't know if you can tell from the video, my eyes changed from this to this. I can see my peripheral vision is bigger. I can see more in the room. My vision is actually more clear. And I have a felt sense in the center of my head. It's telling me information outside of just vision. I can sense with my eyes, not just to look or stare. So if you relax the tension, this belt of tension around your temple, what happens? You may notice you can breathe better. Immediately I took a deep breath in when I have relaxed around my temple area. And I noticed there's spaciousness inside for me to explore and be curious. So that's to relax the area that's tense. The second option is to exaggerate the movement or the posture and see what it comes into. For example, the collapsed one. If I were to exaggerate the collapsed chest and bending forward, I may actually go into a ball where I feel I'm cuddled, that I may collapse into grief and sadness and start crying and having a release. And that's okay. The third option is actually to do the opposite of that structure that you're holding in your body, is to expand. For example, if you were to collapse, what you do, you expand, you open up, and to lift up your sternum and bring your shoulders back and down and let your hands outreach and open and see what happens. So I want to invite you to play and to feel what is true to you and what comes up for you. And if you have any name for those inner critic and outer critic. See you next time.